Good morning. Right, so we're going to get started on Python. I'll introduce you to the Python website. It's python.org. It's up here, and if you want it at home, you just press Python, okay? And you want the Windows version, probably, or the Mac, whatever, and then just download and install. Okay, that's it really. That's not much more to show you from that. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to go and we're going to create a folder to put all our Python programs, and it's got to be on the computer. It can't be online. So you're going to get your quick access or your PC or whatever your name is. So I'm KCS, and I've got loads of folders. Don't worry about that. You just go to new folder, go to new folder, and type in Python. Okay, when you've done that, you can open it up and there's nothing in there, but this is where you're going to store all of your stuff. When you do Python, often when you use this, you can double click your document and your document will open. It doesn't work for Python. Python doesn't do that at all. Alright, so you've got to go into Python and open it up. Okay, so how do we get into Python? Press the magnifying glass and type IDLE, idle. Okay, so this is Python. This is the Python shell. So this is where the program will actually be running, and we're going to create a place to actually write the code. So I'm going to press File, a New File, and I've got a new file here. Just come up, and it's just a blank document over here. So clever stuff now. Can you see on the left hand side of your keyboard, just to the left of your spacebar, you've got a Windows button. Hold down the Windows button, and then on your cursors press the right hand side, and that then disappears over here. All the other stuff I've got open comes up here, so I'm going to click that one, and I've now got a nice environment that I can work on. I can write my code here and I can save it, and it will run over on this side. So that was Windows and the right hand button. Put what is on there. As much as you can, keep the shell on the left hand side, keep the code on the right. Is just a standard that we all use. So I'm going to start writing my code now, and I'm going to use the hash key because that's going to be a comment, and notice it's turned red. Okay, so I'm going to hash key Mr. KC Smith, and I'm going to press enter. Yours is going to look really small, but if you go to options, configure idle, alright, don't change the font if I were you, but you can change the size down here. Students, I recommend you have it on 14. I have it on 18 because I'm projecting it on the board and you just need to see it a little bit better, but 14 is perfect, and you press it on here. Don't change the slider, leave the slider on 4, and that's every time you press tab it's going to just move across the right number of places. So I'm going to press OK. Alright, so hashtag, and today's day is the 18th of the 6th, not the 5th, 24, and hashtag my first Python. Okay, so all of that's in red, and it's telling me that it is completely comments, and it's just going to be ignored. Now, everybody in the world, when they're learning a new computer language, all do the same thing to start off with. They all say hello world. So I'm going to write print. I'm going to put lowercase here. You can see that's gone purple. What's going to happen here, if I put a capital letter in it, it's going to go black, and it's going to go, no, don't like that. So this is going to go print, and then here I'm going to put speech marks, and I'm going to say hello world, and I'm going to close the speech marks. Notice what's inside the speech marks have gone green, and then this has gone black again because it's not inside the speech marks, so that's what you're looking for. To run Python, we need to save it. So we've just created a folder, so we're going to go to File and Save. We're going to come up here and we're going to find our Python folder, so we're going to press on, I think I was on here, wasn't I? And then scroll down here, and there's my Python folder. And I'm going to save this as 821 python.py. So it's year 8, this is unit 2, and this is lesson 1. Okay, So I press save, and it's done. And see at the top there, we've now got the name of it and the path to it. If I press space now, I'm going to press space, and you can see the cursor move over. Notice just here you get a little tiny asterisk. There you go, and that tells you that it's not saved. So now that I've saved it once, I'm going to press Control C and Control S, sorry, which saves it. And if I press the F5 button, or I can come here and run module, you can see we've got F5 there. And what's going to happen now is run Hello World over on this side. Okay, so we've got the formalities out of the way. Let's get started. Okay, so because this is quite bunched up close to here, I'm going to create some separation. So I'm going to do print, and then print, and then again. So I've got 4 in a row there. So the first 2 are just going to give me a little bit of space. Then I'm going to put the title, Mr. Smith Python code, speech marks again, and that closes it down. So if I Control S now and press F5, so I do that, and look, we've got a little bit of space here and we've got a little bit of space here, and I'm starting to manipulate the screen, and you can see it's working. This bit's in blue. Happy days. Okay, so can you remember that we use variables in Scratch? So when we did Scratch, we said we could store the score in a variable. So score would be a space in the computer where we could put a number, and then we could add to it or take away, or we could do all sorts with it. So that is a variable. And so I'm going to make a variable in here. So I'm going to put my name, and the capital letters are massively important. If they're not exactly the same as what you write on here, it won't work. Okay, so I'm storing Mr. Casey Smith in my name. You're not Mr. Casey Smith, probably. So don't put Mr. Casey Smith, put your name in here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do another print, open it, and I'm going to say, hello from me, space. All right, and then I'm going to put a comma outside. I'm going to type my name. I'm going to close the brackets now because that's all I want printed, and I'm going to want print a couple of lines in here at the end, and it just keeps on there. So when we first load the code up, it's going to give me a couple of lines of free space over here. It's going to write my title here. It's going to be 1 line. Then it's going to say, then it's going to do my name is Casey Smith. Now you won't see anything on the screen for that. It will just store my name into my name, and then it's going to say hello from me, Mr. Casey Smith, and put 2 lines. So can you remember what to do to save it? It's Control and S, and our little star has gone now, and press F5, and it runs. And there we go, Mr. Smith Python code, hello from me, Mr. Casey Smith. And now what's happened here, this comma has given me 2 spaces over here. So I had a space in here, and I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that space and make it neat. And look, when I delete it, look what happens up where my cursor is at the top of the name. We've got a star next to it. Okay, so I'm going to Control and S to save it, F5 to run it, and there we go. And look, that double space is now gone. It's automatically given me a space after my comma. Okay, so we now know the print command, we can put things on screen. I'm going to press enter a few times, give myself some lines, and I'm now going to ask you what your name is. So I want to store that in a variable, so I'm going to say your name equals, and I'm going to ask you to input it. Input speech marks what is your name. I'm going to put a question mark. I'm going to put a space because it just looks better when you're doing it. All right, and then it's going to say print hello, close the speech marks, put a comma, your name, close speech marks. Alright, and I'm going to nick these prints here, and I'm going to put them after that, and just keep it nice and neat. Okay, so save again, Control S and F5, and over here, hello Mr. Smith, hello from me, Casey Smith, what is your name? And my cursor is flashing one dot away from here. Your cursor's ready for you to go. Don't click with the mouse. That's one of the biggest problems that you'll have, is you'll keep clicking with your mouse. So I'm going to say my name is Fred, and I press enter, and it says hello Fred. Okay, so that's how we deal with what we call variables. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we are going to do something silly. So if, look, lowercase, if your name equals Fred, okay, then I need to put a colon on the end. Alright, and notice now this next line, because I've got a colon on the end there, this next line has been indented. It's really important with the indentation. Alright, and I'm going to say print. Oh no, not a Fred. Close brackets. Alright, I'm going to come backwards now, and I'm going to put else. Now else works with this if. And so if it's not Fred, okay, then I want here, I'm going to nick that piece of code there, and I'm going to put it in here now. So this time, what it's going to do, I'm going to take those, I'm going to stick those underneath. So you're going to input your name, and if you said your name is Fred, it's going to go, oh no, not Fred. Otherwise, it's just going to print hello, your name. So Control S and F5. Hello, what's your name? So I'm going to say my name is Fred, and it said, oh no, not Fred. So I'm going to run it again. So to run it again, I'm going to click over here. I'm going to press F5 again. What's your name? And I'm going to say Bert, and it's going to say hello, Bert. So we can put some special mentions in there for whoever we want to and what we're doing. So we've got the if statement, which we've used before in Scratch. We've got a print statement, which is like the stay statement in Scratch. Okay,